Hi, hello. Happy Astrid here. Yes, I am back. And I am back here to explain strats to you. Specifically, the Toppy Sniper strat in Abbey Day 3. Let's get into it. First, let me show you how the strat works. Alright, first things first. We're gonna go through the middle part right here.
Stay low.
You see the blinding light over there is Tommy.
up.
We're gonna get behind this truck. I'm gonna briefly explain some of the aspects of the strat. Get behind the truck, go to the left here. Dodge as we approach the glassway. As soon as you see him, as soon as you hear him shoot, start running again. Get into this hospital. Get those supplies if you need them. Fine if he shoots you, nothing you can do about it. Once you get to the halfway part of that truck, you want to restart checkpoint. That way you can get Manny close to you. I'll explain that more in detail as we get to the expanding section of the
Use
video.
this as cover.
For now, let's
Right
continue
behind
doing
you.
the strat. We
Go.
get the cart, just like we do in normal gameplay.
It's falling apart. You gotta move.
As we get to Tommy's third sniper shot, we try to book it. It's safe to just not to do much, to be honest. Some people may say it's not worth it. Personally, I think it is, even if it's a small amount of time waste. An optimized strat is the best strat. It does come with risk though, and I will explain this. So it's up to you if you want to go through that third sniper shot or wait till the fourth. Again, I will explain that later in the video. Alright, so there's nothing you can do about this in-game cutscene right here. It's fine.
He's luring them to us.
But
Get ready.
yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna run, get all up these stairs. You should have a bottle with you. If not, there are plenty of bottles here to pick up on the side. Just to the right corner. Follow that runner. Jump across. And as you would in a casual gameplay, press triangle and hold it.
Go ahead. I'll cover you.
Alright, now let's move on to the next part of the Tommy Sniper section. As soon as you can aim here, restart checkpoint as soon as you can aim. Alright,
Where did he go?
go forward,
Couldn't have gone far.
dodge, wait for him to shoot again. Alright. Time his sniping shots with your drones. Just for this section, I would recommend taking off those three things, or the three bullet, whatever. Crouch, or prone. You should prone there, that was a mistake. Camera movement, you kind of want to get it over there. I fucked it up, but I'll show it in more detail later on. Kind of want to get it up there, so you can have Manny coming this way. Go this way. I know I'm roughly explaining it, but as I said, I'll explain it in detail later. You can get that health if you want. I choose to. And now you just wait for him to get cornered. He's gonna get in his corner. And
He's cornered.
you move on to the section. Manny dies. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. There's a lot to unpack here. So, let's go little by little. As we wait for the section to load. Alright, first things first. Why do we choose to go between the cars? One, it's the best route to take because it's the fastest route. And two, there is still cover after those cars, which is more important. Oops, this is a wrong save file. Alright, here it is. Alright, so as I said at the beginning of the Tommy Sniper section, why do we choose to go to the middle of those cars? It is the safest route and it is the fastest route, ironically. The main thing that will kill you here, literally and figuratively, is Tommy's hitting you. Because when Tommy hits you, Abby will get hella fucking staggered. Hella fucking staggered. It's just bad news bears. What else can I explain while the loading screen is happening? There are some tricks for the last part of the Tommy Sniper section. That's what I recommend you practice most. But let's get on with that. Let's start explaining it. Alright, so first, go to the middle. By the way, small note here. Abby does run in her full sprint mode throughout this entire section. So she won't ever do the, she'll always do the full sprint. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, as we move beyond the middle of these cars, we kind of want to steer a little bit to the left side so that when we end up going forward, we kind of end up behind that big truck right there. The reason we do that is so that we can get out of Tommy's line of sight so that he doesn't shoot us. if you decide to go just straight forward, like towards where the yellow taxi is, he will shoot you. So kind of go a little bit left, but still going forward. So as you can see now with the blinding light gone, usually he doesn't shoot you in this section, but especially now with the truck blocking his line of sight, he won't shoot you. Okay. Now what you want to do here is you want to go to the left side of this car and truck. As you approach this little bus station thing where you sit down, you want to crouch. Like this. As soon as you see either hear him shoot, or and he'll do this most of the time, but not always, which is why I recommend hearing him shooting. If you see him shoot to the left side, because that's usually where he'll shoot if you're proning, that's when you know you can run again. And sometimes he will still shoot you again, but that means that he would shoot you 2 times instead of 1, so you still saved yourself from getting shot at least once. But most of the time he won't shoot you there, so that means you prevent a shot. I found that crouching doesn't work, but you can experiment with it, and if you find positive stuff, let me know. All right, so next thing you want to do is go into this ambulance. The reason we don't just go straight to where the truck, straight to where that black. See. Oh, right. Another thing I should point out. Sometimes Tommy will shoot through walls, and that's an inevitability, but that will especially happen if you aim your gun. If you're anywhere in his line of sight and aim, he will immediately shoot you, like instantaneously. Look. It's bad. So you don't want to do that. Okay. Just so we can get typical RNG, I'll restart encounter. But the reason we go to the hospital, not the hospital, the ambulance, is because that prevents him from shooting you as much. If you just went straight to the water here, it would be really disastrous. Now, sometimes this section is complete RNG. Sometimes he just won't shoot you if you go through the water, but most of the time he will. So, let's say I just try to go. That's 1 shot. Let me dodge. 2. Let me jump. 3. 3 shots. It's rough. That's why I don't recommend going through there. Now, you can go under the water and prone, but that's really slow, and it still doesn't guarantee him. It still doesn't guarantee absolute safety. I have gotten shot there and in fact died in that section during practice while trying to figure out this section. So that's why I recommend going to the through the ambulance. Now, to clarify, the ambulance will not give you 100% guarantee that he won't shoot you as you cross from the ambulance to the truck. But it does obviously get you a little bit further into the section without him shooting at you. Sometimes you'll take 1, sometimes you'll take 2 shots, but trust me, it's a better route compared to just going through the water and toughing it and roughing it out, especially if you don't have the best of health, which you should have decent health. You haven't encountered any combat sections in day 3, so I don't know why you would have low health, but in this case that you really don't have any health, for whatever reason, or we already shot you before that and you're a little bit worried, then that's another reason to go through the hospital, to the ambulance route. Now, another important thing to note is that many will try to stay close to you, but because you are dodging so many of his shots, which in a casual gameplay doesn't happen, he will start to lag behind quite a lot, and this is why we'll restart checkpoint later on in the strat. So, let me just get back up there real quick. A little early. Alright, so now that we go through the hospital, what's in here? Well, there's a couple things. There's a med kit, there's half binding, half alcohol, and I believe that's it. Now, as far as I know, you don't need these supplies because after this, you don't use any pipe bombs, you don't use any shivs, unless you get caught in one of the infected up ahead. But other than that, you shouldn't use any shivs or pipe bombs. I mean, you may need a med kit, but honestly, you shouldn't need a med kit because most of day 3 is just running. It's really, really short too. And you might already have a med kit, and there's you can get a med kit here, obviously, so you don't need those supplies. There's also there also can be a second med kit later on. Not 100% sure if it's 100% of the time, but you can get a med kit later on in this strat. But I'll talk about that later. So I usually try to get the binding and alcohol just in case I might need anything, but you don't have to. All right, so now that you've gone through here, what do? Well, the option is crouch and then prone, but what I usually like to do is just run. Now, I would say, and I'll go to both photo mode because I don't want him to shoot at me. As soon as you get to about this handle right here, or around like midpoint of the truck, you want to restart checkpoint, and this restart checkpoint, as I said earlier while performing the strat, is so that Manny gets close to you. It's so that whenever you grab the little cart and move it, normally what happens is you have to wait to grab the cart because Manny is catching up to you. But if you restart checkpoint, what happens is Manny just spawns behind you because you restarted checkpoint. So the positioning of the AI is reset to where the checkpoint sets it. In this case, being very close to you, since you literally run like 10 feet and you get to the cart. So you get to the cart, and Manny's chingados. Alright, so
I'm right behind you. Go.
there are two different things you can do here. One, you wait till he fluidly destroys the cart, which is 4 shots, and you run. Or you wait till the third shot, and you wait till not only when he shoots his third shot, but as soon as you see the cart, the third part of the third shot blow up the top left half of the cart, that's when you run. It doesn't save very much time, to be honest, and it can be a little bit risky. But I find it to work 99% of the time in my experience. Now, I'm not saying it's 99% consistent. Consistent. I went a little short in there. But it does work a vast majority of the time for me. But if you are learning Abby percent or trying to get adjusted to the strat, by the way, this works in both New Game and New Game Plus. This is the exact same strat because, again, you don't shoot anything here. This is all just RNG. If you do want to take the safe route, you can totally go with the 4th shot. No problem at all. I just prefer to do the 3rd shot. I like that little bit of extra time save because it works for me. But it's not something that I'd be like, oh, you have to do it. Definitely not. Yeah, it's up to you. Give it a feel.
Car's falling apart. Gotta move. Go.
So there I decided to take the 4th shot so you could see how that looked. And you can compare it to earlier when I did the 3rd shot. Now here you come up, you hold triangle, and the in-game cutscene triggers. Now there's nothing you can do to skip this in-game cutscene, unfortunately. You're just gonna have to tough it out. Moving on to the next, briefly explaining the next part. Like I said, when performing this strat, you have to move upstairs by turning about 45 degrees to the left. Now, sometimes Manny will get in your way. Actually, more like a 60 degree. Manny will sometimes get in your way, so that's why I recommend when you turn the 60 degrees, you kind of want to take a little bit of an extra turn so that Manny doesn't get in your way. So, like I like to take a bit of a wide turn right here, like that. Cause see, he would have gotten in front of me if I didn't take that super wide turn. So that's why I recommend taking a super wide turn so he doesn't block you. Now, you run up here. Now, Tommy will sometimes shoot you here. But again, I assume that other folks like Scarlet or whoever else runs Abby percent unrestricted / new game plus, not grounded, because that's different. I think it is. I'm not sure what the strat is there. But we would all say run up here. Tommy, I found that Tommy has shot me 3 times out of the 100+ times that I've done this strat. Practice the strat. So you'll be fine. And again, you should have a med kit. You can grab the one from the ambulance, and there is sometimes another one coming up, so you'll be fine. Also, you restart checkpoint in a bit, so that means you get some of your health back automatically. That's just how Very Light works. I'm not sure if that's the same thing for other difficulties, but for Very Light, that is how it works. So So next thing you want to do is you want to go up here. I'm not sure what the strat is for other categories, but I will say that for Abby percent glitchless new game / new game plus restricted, what I would do is grab a bottle. There are bottles throughout here, but there's also a bottle at the very beginning of Seattle Day 3 when Lev escapes with the boat and Yara says, Lev, and Lev, he's leaving towards the island. When you and Yar are able to walk and you're going down and you vault over an elevator right at the very beginning, there are 2 bottles there. So you can grab the one there or you can grab one here. Next I would do is run between those 2 cars stick to the right side of this wall. Well, shit. Don't do that. Just don't do what I did there, but you get the point. You want to shoot him with the bottle to stun him, and then you want to take the left path of the car. The reason I don't go towards the right path is because I believe they're a little bit more infected over there, so it's just kind of the safest route. And then you jump here. Now, there is something weird that can happen here. If you jump again like that, sometimes Abby, if you're in the right position, will do a super big jump. And that can actually cost you losing some time. So make sure not to spam X here, because it could cause you to lose time if she does her super big jump. So just press X to jump, and then just hold the sprint button so you can start sprinting again, and then just press X again to vault over this. And then here, you just got a whole triangle. And now we move on to the next, and possibly for what I would say is a section that you should practice the most. This part of the Tommy Sniper section can be quite difficult if you don't know what to do. It took me a bit to figure out. This is a slight modification of Z Money Train strat, but it is the same time IGT. It's just way more consistent in my opinion. So first thing you want to do, as I said earlier, there is a restart checkpoint here. So if you are low on health, the restart checkpoint will automatically give you some health back. It won't fully refuel your health, but it will give you some health back to where you should feel comfortable taking a couple shots. In fact, just see what happens. So we restart checkpoint. Now what? Well, first of all, restart checkpoint is required. Second, vault like this. You can vault towards the side, but it's just like kind of weird and randomly waste time. I don't know. I mean, you can't just vault forward. All right. Tommy's gonna take 1 sniper shot as soon as he spawns in. He will never hit you though. When he's getting ready to take his second sniper shot, crouch behind here and just stay behind there. Obviously, in a speed run, the way to go is do things as fast as possible. Here, if you actually go too fast, you will soft lock the game and cause a lot of time waste. In fact, that's basically what's been happening in every single Abby percent run that I've done. But I finally figured it out tonight, and that's why I'm finally making a strat video for the sniper section. And in particular, this is why I'm explaining it, because this strat, it can be quite complicated and can be quite difficult without thorough explanation. So, moving on. So, as I said, you wait for him to do a second sniper shot, and then that's where you want to sprint. You want to sprint to the left side, and at this point, the only way that I can explain it is you want to time the sniper shot. So let me load up from a file. You want to time his sniper shots in a way that when you're getting hit, because he will hit you, you'll be in prone mode. So,
where did he go?
Like this.
Couldn't have gone far.
First shot, second shot. I would recommend kind of sticking to the right so you get ready to move. Second shot. See how I timed that sniper shot? So I hit me almost as soon as I proned. That way, 1, you don't get stunned, and 2, it allows, since you don't get stunned, it allows you to sprint immediately, or like you're allowed to get back up and sprint. I would recommend taking 3 prones here, and then after that, I just do that out of, that's just something that's kind of figured out in my mind. If you're a new game, obviously you can't do that. No Game Plus, do whatever you want there. You don't have to turn off the 3 bullets and 1 trigger thing. All right. So the reason you want to stick behind that the box for a minute is because if you do this section too fast right here, this is what'll happen. And this is what I struggled with for a long time, and I could not figure out for the life of me.
Where did he go?
I'll research checkpoint just in case.
Where did he go?
Couldn't have gone far.
All right.
Down!
First shot.
Damn it!
Second shot.
Abby!
By the way, you kind of want to stick to. You definitely want to stick to the left side of your prones here. If you go too fast, of course, it works that time. But basically, what happens is, because I probably won't get it since the game always likes to make me look stupid. What happens is, basically, usually what happens with the strat is he will spawn in his second position, and you just aim at him for a second, and he starts running towards the final part, which is where, you know, Manny dies and stuff. But if you go through that section too fast, basically what happens is he just stays there forever. There's nothing you can do. You either restart checkpoint or you get yourself killed by just by aiming, and he'll, you know, just shoot you. Nothing. It's super fucked up, but really nothing you can do. So this is a way more consistent strat for me. So as I said, vault forward, prone.
Damn it!
Time your prones. Stick to the left side. You don't. I would recommend doing 3 prones, not 2 prones, because again, you do want to do this section kind of slow. If you do it too fast, you know, the game will soft lock. Also, is there thing plugged? No, it isn't. Okay. So now what?
He's right there!
By the way, you'll know it worked by either 2 things. One, Manon will say "fuck it," and then he'll run, and then, you know, what happens is, you know, when if he says "fuck it," you know you're good. If he doesn't say anything, that means you're fucked. If you're doing the strat like I'm doing right here, what'll usually happen is Manny will say he's right there around this time. So what do you do now? Well, you prone near these briefcases, you aim at him, and then he'll start running. Now the next section requires some camera trickery where you kind of move the camera in an awkward position, but it basically allows this section to go faster. So run, just do like a. I like to do another one just for safety. It allows Manny to start running towards you faster than he would if you just kept, you know, going forward. Another thing I like to do is kind of point the camera towards the elevator if he isn't necessarily behind you yet, like he is right now. And then what I like to do is, again, there is a medkit there, but you want to go through this section, run, prone, run, grab that health if you need it, which I usually do, run towards, do a little zigzagging, come this way, and run the whole way. And then you just wait. You just wait for him to get cornered. So let me kind of, without being too repetitive, let me kind of show that part again. Specifically the second part of that. Because again, soft locking the game is a big boo-boo. It's a waste of time. It's hella annoying. I've soft locked the game in every single run using Z-Money's strat. Z-Money did an amazing job finding this. But I just think that sticking behind the crate for a couple seconds is more consistent than if you just did a couple of slow prones. Because what he said is, you know, he usually does a couple of slow prones instead of, you know, doing it super fast or sticking behind the crate. But what I found with that is that Abby usually gets killed. That's usually what happens. So that's why I prefer to just stick behind the crate for a couple seconds. And again, from my timing, it seems to be the exact same IGT, 56 seconds. Whenever they say he's cornered, that's when Z-Money's IGT stopped. That's when my IGT timer stopped. They were the exact same, except for me, this is incredibly more consistent. So, hoorah. You know, hoorah for time save. So, prone, stick to the left side. Timer prones. Do a third one for slowing down the section. That's just muscle memory. Now, as you saw in the very first time I did this, I didn't prone, but you should prone. You should just prone. It's safer. It's much safer. Because sometimes if you do aim without proning, he will shoot you. You will die. And you will have to do this part of the section and the last part of the section like a casual playthrough, and it's annoying. So just aim at his head. You can shoot, but you don't have to shoot. You can just aim at his head, and he'll start running. And then you want to do a little... You can do a second one for safety. I know I like to do that.
Damn it!
So you can see Manny's catching up. Go towards the... move the camera towards the stairs just to make sure that everything's going well. Then you do the you go through there. Something interesting that I found is that these bars don't necessarily have a hitbox. As you can see, I can easily prone through them. I say that now I can't do that. Hold on, Jesus, please, Abby prone. Okay, well, Abby doesn't want to prone. Here.
You see him?
So.
There!
So if you are coming in from a little bit of from the left side, you do still have a chance to prone under the things because those bars don't necessarily have hitboxes. It's very strange. I don't know why that happens, but it does happen. Okay, so let me show you the last part, and then we can review the strat as a whole. Yeah. Alright, and again, I'll just restart checkpoint for safety.
Where did you go?
That's only for
Kinda gone far.
me loading files, by the way. You shouldn't restart checkpoint twice in a row. Just do it once. And again, it's as soon as you aim.
Down!
So,
Damn it!
second shot. Prone. Prone. Slow the section down. Run. That means you know it worked. Prone. Aim. They'll start running. Again, do another one right there. Also, if the pipe bomb went off, that's another sign that the strat worked. And that's an even better sign because it means that Manny is definitely going towards you. Because when he shoots a pipe bomb, that means he's about to run towards this next section. So that means you're doing a good job. And then you just do this.
You see him?
Get that health if you want. Now, an interesting... that's actually ironic that happened, because I wanted to explain something here with this specific animation. Okay, her lip's a little bit funny there. If Tommy shoots you from the side, she'll do this. She'll fall to her side. An interesting fact about this is that if you jump when he does that shot, the jumping animation will continue, but as soon as you hit the ground, she'll go to her side. It's super weird. I don't know what happens. It kind of delays this happening. So if you think you're about to get shot, you could jump, but I'm not actually sure that helps. And then again, you just wait till you can get the triangle prompt.
He's cornered!
And happy times. Alright. Let's review the strat as a whole. Just real quickly, because this video is already a little bit long. So again, this specifically that last part of this, that whole last stretch, with having to do the prone timings and stuff like that. Oh, come on, seriously. Sorry. Apologies. 350. I would highly recommend practicing that last stretch for hours, not minutes or couple minutes, hours and hours and hours, because if you don't know how to prone or do that movement, that camera movement, then the strat could fall apart and it could cost you time. And again, it has cost me time in every single run, because I could not find a way to get it consistent despite hours and hours of practice. But now that I found a consistent way, here I am explaining it to you, and that's why I think it is very, very important that you practice it. That way you can get the entire part of the strat consistent, well done, optimized, and to the point where it's literally no need to worry anymore. because this was a strat that up until today, it was a strat that I was still like, I don't know what to do. You know, like, what if the strat works and, you know, like, what if the strat fails? Like, fuck, what am I going to do? Because there really is no backup when you softlock the game. There really isn't. You're just fucked. You have to restart checkpoint or die, and you lose time. So it's important to be able to get that that strat right there down. That way you perform the section perfectly and get it down in 56 seconds in game time. Because, you know, if you're speedrunning, I'm assuming you're going for the world record. The other parts of this run, of the sniper section are definitely not as hard as that last stretch. But I would say that they still do require some practice, just definitely not as much practice as that last stretch. This is definitely filler because I'm waiting for this loading screen to finish. Loading screen, please finish. You son of a bitch. But yeah, this strat, is well optimized, I would say, from beginning to end. That Tommy RNG with going through the ambulance and stuff is still a little bit like fuckery. And by that I mean like kind of
I'm moving up.
not super figured out, but I'm basically trying to reduce as much RNG as possible from Tommy. I'm trying to get into pseudos as little as possible. Oh wait, there's half a rag there by the way too, but I pretty much always have full rag by that time, so I don't need it. I don't think you should need it either. Although otherwise you want to craft a medkit. Say like it's not guaranteed. So restart checkpoint after you do all that. Tommy, Manny said chingados.
Use this as cover.
Cart.
I'm right behind you. Go. The car's falling apart. We gotta move. Go, go.
Now there is a tiny sliver in that certain case, a tiny sliver that's just an invisible wall, and that will likely lead to Tommy shooting you, and it is a slight risk when it comes to doing the three shots strat instead of the 4 shots. But again, I've had it happen like once in my hours and hours of practice, so I'm not really concerned about it personally. But again, that 3 or 4 shot thing is personal preference. So again, just, you know, do that in-game cutscene, go upstairs. He shot me, nothing I can do about that there. That bottle did not affect him. That was stupid. Again, don't jump here because sometimes Abby will do a big-ass jump, and it will cause you to lose time. I actually have a video on that. You can go check it out. As soon as you can aim here, it's called Abby Moon Jump. As soon as you can aim here, restart checkpoint.
Couldn't have gone far.
First shot won't hit you. Second shot, get ready. Time your prones. Pull a section down.
It's right there. We got you, pendejo.
We got you, pendejo. Do a little whoop-de-doo. Do a little fuck-de-doo. I don't know what that was about. Alright. Okay. Well, don't do that, but, you know, proper movement tech. It's very important. Run, 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 run. Pick up that health if you feel comfortable, if you want to. Again, I like to do that.
You see him?
And that's it. That's the entire strat. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, practice it. It can be very tricky. Make sure not to soft lock the game. But seriously, practice it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Okay. Bye.